Yeah, umkhaya wami uphela umthakathi is going around closing shops now. Uvale itolo lapha kwaNongoma. You know, guys, this guy uphela umthakathi, and I saw on comment section some people are typing saying no, this guy who right lento akayenzayo uvale itolo. These people, they, according to the laws of this country, they are not allowed to run spaza shops. They must have invested 5 million according to guys. Why manga, man? That is a lie. There was a court order by our High Court. You can go do your research, man. Legal refugees, you know, these asylum seekers. I'm talking about these people who come from war-torn countries. And most of these people are these Pakistanis, Ethiopians, those people who come from war-torn countries. Those who are legal here, who have a refugee status. These people, they are allowed to run spaza shops. And this law that you keep misquoting, saying no, these people, when they come here to run business, they must have invested 5 million. That law is applicable to people who want to run a big scale business, like a wholesale business. It is not applicable to people who want to run a small scale business like a spaza shop. How can you run a small scale business like a spaza shop and be expected to have invested 5 million? Does it make sense? Ukuthi ungathi wena unemali yokwenza ispaza shop and then urun ispaza shop bese fika umuntu athi bengimele ngabe uinveste 5 million. 5 million uzothatha apho run ispaza shop. Doesn't make sense, man. So stop lying. Stop misquoting the act, man. Please read the act correct, guys. Stop lying to people. What Uphela Umthakathi is doing, this thing of going around telling these people to close shops, saying these people, according to the law, they are not allowed to open shop, is lying. As long as you came to this country legally, you obtained a refugee status, and then you are running a small-scale business like a spaza shop, you are allowed to do so. Why? Because in South Africa, we don't have refugee camps, guys. These people are integrated into our society. So since they are integrated into our society, we live with them in our communities. So the government, I provide imali to survive. They need to survive. So that is why they run these spaza shops, so that they will survive. This thing that I'm saying is not just an opinion. It's a court order. You know, it was said by our court. Even Uchesinda, she once spoke about this thing. Hey, there is this problem that we have now. These people, they are allowed by a court order. They can run these spaza shops. But you people, most of you, you are oblivious. You are not informed. You get people like Abo Phela Umthakathi who lie, saying, no, these people, if you are not a South African, spaza shops are only reserved for South Africans. You are lying, man. Let me ask you, do you remember ukuthi MKP, they once submitted a motion in Parliament to that effect? MKP is the one that tabled that motion in Parliament to say, let's have a law that will reserve spaza shops, you know, all these small-scale businesses only to South Africans. Why did MKP have to submit that motion if already we do have such laws, such law in this country? Why? It is just a lie, man. And even if, okay, let's say there is such a law, let me agree with you. Law, it has lento bayibiza ngama-exceptions. There are exceptions to the law. As a country, we do have refugees. So since we have refugees, people who are in the country legally, who obtained refugee status, if you say, no, there is no exception, these people, they are not allowed to run spaza shops. Spaza shops are only reserved for locals. Then how are these refugees going to survive here? How are they going to survive? Remember, these people came from where they came from, from where they are war-torn countries. And then they are here, sorry, they are here legally. They are running, they ran away from war-torn countries. They come here and then now they need to survive. There are no refugee camps. We live with them. What must they do to survive? They must commit crime. Who must feed them? If you refuse them to run their own shops, then what must happen? You see? So it's obvious that even if MK wins that battle, that motion, that no, spaza shops, let's reserve them only to locals. But there will be exception to these people who are refugees, because otherwise it will mean that these people, they must get a grant from government. And if they get a grant from government, you are going to complain again, because you are going to say, this is our tax. These people are not supposed to benefit from our tax money. So it means government will have to take care of these people, because otherwise they will commit crime in order to survive. So if they run spaza shops, you complain. If government says, okay, I will fund them, you will complain again. So I saw some of these Pakistani guys, they challenged Parliament to say, no, give us the law that says we are prohibited to run these spaza shops. Because Parliament is a vigilante. Parliament is a bully. He doesn't want to negotiate with those guys. Just says, no, hey, when I don't ask me those questions, I said, close the shop and can go. There is no room for negotiation. Yabona? Yena manje is just personifying a police. He's a police. He is a judge. He's everything unto himself. Upagela. So guys, please don't be misled. Don't be deceived by these guys who are lying, man. All these shops that you see, I mean, not all. I understand there are those who are running them illegal, who didn't obtain refugee status. I'm not talking about those people. I'm only talking about those ones who obtained legal refugee statuses. Those ones, they are allowed to run a small-scale business according to that court order. They are allowed to run these small-scale businesses like spaza shops. So don't get deceived. My reaction to Ngizwe, guys, guys, you saw a video where this guy was spilling the beans. But I think this guy was interviewed by wrong people, man. Ngizwe, he wants to talk, but he was interviewed by wrong people. This guy is also, man, this guy totally crash, man. He's not a good interviewer. I applaud him for the good work he's doing in this thing of shooting videos, working behind the scenes as a cameraman who writes also. But in interviewing, man, he's not doing us justice also. When they were interviewing this guy, Ungizwe, he wants to talk. No, man, this guy is passionate. He's willing to talk. But now he's interviewed by wrong people. And the other thing, this guy is also conflicted, because now he's been part of this thing. He's been up and down with these guys. So that is why when Macengwana is talking, he also says now he's also, yes, so I told you, I showed you some videos, We want Ngizwe to be interviewed by someone who is not conflicted, who has nothing to do with what is going on. Someone who is oblivious of this whole thing, so that uMacingwane will talk freely. Because there are some other things uMacingwane that he was saying in that video, that podcast, where like he left us hanging. For instance, he spoke about Jacob Zuma. He was praising Zuma, saying, no, Malala. I was like, no, I'm lost now. Where Zuma comes in now? Why uMacingwane is he praising Zuma? But it seems like these guys were interviewing him, they were following. But they left us as the audience hanging, not understanding clearly ukuthi uthini uMacingwane kahle kahle. Yabona? But yena uthi uzokhuluma. No, I will talk. If I can talk now, all hell will break loose. I'm like, mawungakhuluma ukuthini? No, now as also I showed you evidence. You saw evidence. What evidence, Macingwane? So, guys, apart from Ngizwe saying, no, these guys are still immature in the game. This game of media, in this game of popularity, they are still immature. Namdala Ngwele is a junior in this field. So I liked it when he spoke. It seems like uMacingwane has been advised, guys. Because I liked it when he says, no, some danger is coming here. Something big is coming. These guys will get into trouble. So Yena is pulling out because he could see and he has experience that this thing of getting hyped by people, pushing you, elevating you, saying, no, go. At the end of the day, they will get into trouble and then go to prison. The same people who were hyping them are the ones who will abandon them. And I concur with Ngizwe, right? He's telling the truth. You can't trust the masses, man. People will hype you, elevate you, push. When you get into trouble, and then they abandon you like that. So he also speak about this ICJ case, because now there's this country that is taking us to ICJ, alleging this thing of Afrophobia or xenophobia that is taking place. So we don't know what's going to happen to that case. So Macingwane speaks like someone who is matured now, who cares about the economy of the country. Hence, I'm saying this guy, I think he has been advised. And apart from that, guys, what I've noticed from Macingwane, even from onset, Macingwane is not this guy who is driven by hate. Because in the beginning of that podcast, he stated that he was pursued. He was convinced to come and join. He didn't join this thing voluntarily. He didn't hijack it, as some people may allege. Macingwane, he didn't hijack March and March. He went there not voluntarily. He went there because he was called by Uchesinda to come. Macingwane says, Uchesinda has been pursuing me for a very long time. They called him to come and be part of this March and March. It was not from him. And he also saw a need that, okay, no, there is a need for me to join this thing. But before that, he was called to come and join. He's not a hijacker of March and March. Yeah, so the other thing I've noticed, this guy, he doesn't have hate to Macingwane. Yena is pushing good mabahambe. The way he's pushing Yena, it's like he's doing it for constitutionalism and legality. Genuinely so. When I look at these other guys, Phakela no Chesinta, no, laba is modern legality and constitutionalism. Laba, they are driven by hate. But uMacingwane yena shem, the way he is speaking, who soft. It's not like these ones. These ones are rough. That's how I distinguish the three of them. So now, since uMacingwane has left, I see Uti Ngatimanje, they are trying to replace him with Mavava. So I don't know if Mavava will cope. because uMavava we know ukuthi yena nje umuntu eshayela ingoma is a taxi owner. He's a rich guy in KZN, but yena shem le anti funa umuntu talkative. I think uMavava he won't fit because he's not talkative. Uzofana na this guy ufele emntwini yena, uyabona, even noma ekhuluma yena, like there are these people who are good in one-on-one but not in addressing the masses. Omacingwana idlumdlum nje right for address the masses, but uMavava yena umuntu right nje kuma one-on-one or kwi-classroom engagement, yabona. Akusiyo umuntu ngathi umfaka kuma masses ukuthi akagijime, he must run, run after the masses, go up and down, do this thing. This thing ifuna bona bo these stick fighters abo phakela umthakathi, yabo, nabo bongizwe. I don't think this guy is going to fit, man. But we don't know. We'll see, guys, because now it seems like they are replacing uMavava with, they're replacing Ungizwe with uMavava. So I saw even Mkhaya Uphakela, he responded to Ungizwe. He's calling him for he's challenging him to boxing ring. Uphakela manje wants to box Ungizwe. Kama alithanda udlame, man. Ungizwe, when he says nizingane, he's not insulting you. Don't take it personal or literally. Ungizwe is saying, figuratively so, that you guys, you are new in the game. Yena has been in this game of spotlight, this game of being a celebrity, popularity, for a very long time. So when I don't take it personal, might nizingane ukuthi awuyangixhaphaza, uyangiduka. No. But if you take it literally, you will perceive this as an insult. Till now we understand ukuthi no, this guy, he understands ukuthi we grasp what he's saying. Nina ni grasp the way ni grasp ngakhona. Till now we don't, man. We understand ukuthi uMacingwana nje is genuinely, figuratively saying, you guys, you are new in the game. Yena is being wider and wider in Marsh and Marsh. This alliance, Ngizwe, Phakela Umthakathi and Marsh and Marsh, the crack is getting wider, guys. After the 30th of June, following that meeting that they held with President Ramaphosa, now Marsh and Marsh has issued a statement to say they cut the ties with Ngizwe Mchunu pending an investigation. We don't know what there's no clarity as to what this investigation is all about. It's unclear, guys. But all they are saying in that statement is that they are distancing themselves. They are cutting the ties with Ungizwe. We knew from onset, guys, that this was going to happen because Ngizwe is ANC. Whether a member in good standing or a supporter or what, or is just PR, is marketing, campaigning for NC. We don't understand, but we know that he is NC. He said it in the past. He tried to convince all KZN people, especially those who are part of Binga Nation, that he claims he's leading, to vote for NC in the past. But people defied him. They decided to vote for MKP. They didn't listen to him. So we knew that this relationship between Ngizwe and Marsh, it was just a short-term relationship. It was a house of cards that was bound to fall down. Now this relationship has broken. Marsh, Jacinta is now cutting the ties with Ngizwe. There are some rumors, guys, as you all know. This guy Ngizwe has been silent. After that meeting, I don't know if he has attended any march, but it seems like the guy has gone mum since the meeting of Cyril Ramaphosa. We've never seen Ngizwe shouting the way he's been shouting, man. So as I'm saying to you, we knew from day one that this relationship is short-term because we know Ngizwe, his personality. Minage, I regard him as this comedian. He's comic, that guy. We don't take him serious. But yeah, he has people, he has the masses. So with regard to Uphakela, Now Upagela, he tried to distance himself. There were those rumors that no, this guy received money from, he's the one who received money from Ramaphosa. He sold out the revolution. But the guys like there's this guy, man, who is also popular in KZN, in text industry, Mavava. Mavava, they tried, Shem, to reconcile, to say, no, Pagela, come back, please. They convened a secret meeting with Mash and Mash. To convince Pagela to come back. To say, please, Pagela, even if we know that you took the money from Ramaphosa, but please, Mash and Mash cannot afford to lose you. Come back, Pagela. You know, we all know that Pagela has the masses. You know, is that powerful, Pagela Mtagat? So, Pagela Mtagat, he eventually went back to Mash and Mash. It seems like they reconciled. Then he came back. We saw him mashing, even though the strength is no longer the way it was before. You know, it has gone down. But at least he compromised to Pagela. He went back to Mash and Mash. They tried to reconcile. So with regard to Ngizwe, now there are these investigations that they are talking about. As to what those investigations about, we don't know, guys. But the statement that they issued is that pending that investigation, Ngizwe is no longer going to work with Mash and Mash. So this crack now is getting wider and wider, gradually so, wider and wider and wider in Mash and Mash, between Mash and Mash, Ngizwe and Upagela. Because as I'm saying, guys, we knew, since this guy is NC, it doesn't make logical sense to people like us to have Ngizwe, to have, even if not Ngizwe, to have someone who claims to be NC, to march with you guys. Because we all know that NC is part, not even part, is the main problem that brought us to where we are. So what logical sense does it make to you that someone from NC is going to march against his people? It didn't make sense from day one, this thing of bringing Ngizwe to Mash and Mash. You know, and by the way, it's not a betrayal, because Ngizwe, we all knew that he was NC. The only person that we can accuse to say, no, but you betrayed, is this one who is IFP. But Ngizwe is his party. He convinced people, he campaigned for NC in the past. You know, see, Ramaphosa is this guy. As to what Ramaphosa gave him, we don't know. But he is Ramaphosa guy who Ngizwe. You know, so this thing of being NC member, NC support, but then claim that you are going to fight against the people that are the ones who brought us where we are, because we've made diagnosis that the problem that we are facing is caused mainly by NC government, the party that has been governing for many years. But you guys, you turn the blind eye to that fact. Now, this thing is showing up. Ngizwe is showing you the flames now. So there are rumors that Ngizwe is infiltrating Mash and Mash. He's bringing some infiltrators in the Mash and Mash. They no longer trust him. The trust is gone.
Many ukumasha kwethu isikhathi eside kangaka. 1,000 marches across South Africa. Akatenzeka. Kwaze wafika umhla ka-30 owabekwa njengelanga futhi ke elungqamla juqu. Futhi likhuthaza ukuthi abantu bokufika bahambe abangenamaphepha. Sikuthokozelile kakhulu lokho futhi manje sekuthele ithelo. Ngoba iqiniso limile as much as singakuzuzile konke kodwa futhi we can't march forever. Iqiniso limile lelo, iqiniso lonke, iqiniso lodwa. Iqiniso lelo ngoba asinayo inhloso yokucollapse economy. Futhi ngikhuluma lokho njengesenior yomuntu okwaziyo ukuboshwa abafowethu silitha labo yonke lento ukuthi adewethu uMangobese noMfowethu Phakela abalazi ijele, and futhi they are junior to me. They are excited about every situation, limelight, relevancy, and everything. I'm no longer excited. I'm visionary. I know what to do and when to do it. So where someone is weaker, someone has to protect each other. Someone has to elevate each other. So this is the position I'm taking.
We can't march forever. We've been marching, we achieved what we achieved. We didn't achieve it all, but we can't march forever, guys. You know, the intention is not to collapse or destabilize the economy of this country. We want to build. We love South Africa. So those are words of Ungizwe, sweet words from this guy I never expected. Ungizwe yaphila sometimes. So you know, we don't want to collapse the economy of this country. We can't march forever. And I concur with him 100%. We are sick and tired of these people marching, collapsing our economy, claiming that the economy, the marches are peaceful. Whereas we know that in some areas they are not. So this guy, Ungizwe, is saying he is a senior. Both Phakela and Jacinta are juniors. He is a senior. So they are just excited by Extreme Lime, by this spotlight that they are getting. You know, he's been to prison. They've never been to prison, these guys. So yeah, he knows hardship more than them. He's not excited, you know. So effectively, Ungizwe is tired of marching now. This up and down is tired. Gloves are off, you know. So this is what he said in his response, guys. The cracks are getting wider, as I said. Gloves are off. Ungizwe is tired. He's been doing this. The alliance is gone. No more mash Ngizwe and Phakela Mthakathi. You know, the guy is tired. If there's anything that I admire Cyril Ramaphosa, our president, for, is to neutralize people. No matter how much lumped radical you are, Ramaphosa will deal with you. He's very sweet, our president. You know, he's very sweet. He doesn't fight, but he launches an attack on you slowly. You know, he's very good in neutralizing people, Cyril Ramaphosa. All these things that you are seeing now, these divisions in March and March, about Phakela trying to distance themselves, no longer fighting now, among Ngizwe getting exhausted, is subsequent to that meeting that they held with Cyril Ramaphosa. I don't know how this guy neutralizes people, because he's best in neutralizing people. He's a master in negotiating, man. I don't know if it's money or it's just words, because he's a master when it comes to that, man. That guy is not violent. He will just launch an attack slowly, but he will deal with you, he will defeat you. He has dealt with these people completely. They are done, man. You know, Ramaphosa is best in neutralizing comrades.